up, you guys? It's Naseem here. Now today I'm going to be giving you guys a very special look at the brand new Google Pixel 7 Pro. Now, as you guys know, last year's Pixel 6 Pro was one of the best phones of last year, and despite it not starting off that great, it improved a lot and showed that Google can compete with the heavy hitters in the smartphone market. And with this year's Pixel 7 Pro, I feel like Google has ironed out everything that was wrong with the Pixel 6 Pro, so that unlike last year, it can be great from the start, which means that the Pixel 7 Pro has the potential to be the best smartphone to date. The Pixel 7 Pro has Face ID alongside a faster fingerprint sensor than last year. It has a much more durable frame that features Gorilla Glass with hints of aluminum, and it has that legendary pixel camera that seems to be getting better in terms of features and quality. And even though I have really high hopes for the Pixel 7 Pro, I wanted to share my first impressions with you guys and get a deeper look into what it can do. Now, the Pixel 7 Pro has 3 different colors in its catalog, starting with Hazel, which is the only color that truly pops out in the lineup. And for the more uniform colors, you have Snow, which is white, and there's Obsidian, which is the black version. And the version that I have is Snow, and you can see that it looks really good. The colorful aspect along with the color coordinated rails give it a good amount of depth, and I really admired that there were different shades within the phone. Also, you can see the camera bump, which is more premium than last year since this year's version is aluminum. Also, it looks nice aesthetically, but we'll see how it deals with fingerprints. Even when we look at it in the sun, we can see that it looks really good while also giving off a nice clean look that I think many people will enjoy. I also really loved how it had aluminum sides that were the same color and continued that clean, colorful aesthetic of the phone, and it looked even better when the sun was reflected on it. Now, the Pixel 7 Pro has a 6.7-inch display that I will say looked pretty good based off my first impression. It was vibrant, the quality was good, and it did good, so I was pretty satisfied with the outcome. I also really like the fact that the size was big with very small bezels. Like right here, I'm playing a game and you can see that it's big enough to still get the job done and give a good visual experience. The display is also 120 Hz, which means that you'll get a much smoother experience whenever you're scrolling, and it feels pretty much the same when compared to the Pixel 6 Pro. The Touch ID sensor so far is a little better than the 6 Pro, but if I'm being honest, I was expecting it to be much better, especially since Google got a lot of hate for it in the past. But besides that, the display was really responsive out of the gate. Everything that I clicked on and moved responded very quickly, and I would say that overall, it felt really high quality when compared to top tier phones. The 7 Pro gave me the exact same software based on my first impressions, so if you're a fan of Google's software and ecosystem in general, you'll definitely love what this phone has to offer. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that you'll still be able to get updates for up to 5 years, which makes it much better than phones like Samsung, which only offer 3 years. But to give you guys an idea of how well the screen performed, here's me playing the game and watching the video on it.
Gets to the basket and has 47 points. See if he gets 50 here. Bryant going to the basket. Yes, Bryant. There it is. A 50-point game in his farewell.
Now, when it comes to build quality on the Pixel 7 Pro, I would say that compared to other top tier phones, it was one of the best premium builds in the market. Again, I really like the glass back for the premium feel, but the only downside to it is the fact that I'm using it without a case, so it will often be very slippery and it gives me a feeling that I might drop it. But besides that, the front and back of the 7 Pro has a Gorilla Glass build, which means that in most cases, if you do drop it, then most likely it won't break, which is good news for people who drop their phones a lot. Again, I also love the aluminum size, so that made the phone feel much more smooth and also made the phone feel much more satisfying. And this is the reason why I think that the 7 Pro has a near perfect build for a top tier smartphone. Now, when it comes to physicality, the Pixel 7 Pro has a height of 6.4 inches, a width of 3 inches, and weighs about 212 grams, making it an overall nicely sized phone. And right here, you can see how well it fit into my hands. It's pretty big, but I was still able to get a very comfortable grip on it, which made it less likely to drop it. The 7 Pro also had a really good weight to it. It was on the heavier side, but when it comes to a premium phone, I personally have no problems with it. Now, the Pixel 7 Pro has a 50 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 48 megapixel telephoto camera that can shoot up to 4K at 60 frames per second. It also has a front camera that is at 10 megapixels and can also shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, which is really impressive. And when we look at the daytime outside photos, we can see that it was really good for a top tier camera. The skies looked nice, the environment was really vibrant, and my selfies were pretty good. I also really admired the fact that it was able to handle my skin tone really well. I didn't look yellow or red, and it let enough light in to where I can say it was a quality selfie, and I really like that. Now, when we look at the daytime inside photos, I would say that these were also really good. Again, it let in enough light so that it could capture objects better. And out of every smartphone, I would say that this one had the least amount of grain. It was able to capture my skin color really well, which made me want to take more selfies. And it was good enough to give me confidence that I could use this as my main phone. I also wanted to give you guys an example of how the phone records video before I gather my final thoughts about it in my final review. And when we look at additional specs on the Pixel 7 Pro, it has a Google Tensor G2 chip that can also be found in the Pixel 7. It has storage starting from 128 gigs that goes all the way up to 512 gigs and packs about 12 gigs of RAM. It has a 5000 milliamp hour battery that supports 30 watt fast charging and it has an IP68 dust and water resistance rating. And there it is, you guys, my review on the Pixel 7 Pro. Now stay tuned for more because I will be having a weekly update on the 7 Pro where I will be going into detail with how it holds up. But let me know down in the comments, do you guys think that I should do a day in the life on the Pixel 7 Pro? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe, it will be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.